All right, guys, welcome back to another video. As we know, Valve, whenever they release a game, it blows up. I mean, people are always looking forward to things that they do release. People are still waiting for another Half-Life game. There's been rumors that that is going to be coming out there, that there is one in development from some data mining. Nothing official, but that hopefully that is the case. But one of their big upcoming games is a new shooter called Deadlock. And we haven't really heard too much about this, but we finally have some information as well as a controversy going on here. Because this information has come out, you're seeing some journalists and some websites actually going at each other because of this information. This is what has happened. So this is Deadlock. This is being reported here by The Verge. They say it's been nearly 5 years since Valve announced truly a new game and counting, and Valve has still not announced Deadlock, its new hero shooter that takes cues from Overwatch 2, Dota, Team Fortress 2, and more. But that hasn't stopped nearly 20,000 people from trying the game, including me. So if you go on their Steam charts, it's 20,000 people for a game that has not been announced officially yet, which is pretty crazy. It says here, and I'm not under NDA. I have signed no contracts and made no verbal agreements. I haven't even clicked through the EULA. And when you do jump into the game, it says this is an early development build. Deadlock is still in development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game with anyone. So that's the first thing that pops up, and The Verge still posts this article here, even though they're asking not for it not to be shared. I guess because they officially did not sign any NDAs or anything, they can just ignore it. I'm not really 100% sure how that works. It says earlier today, I received a no strings attached invite to play Deadlock on Steam. Steam claims the game is made by Valve. It displays Valve's copyrighted logo when it launches, and its executable is digitally signed by Valve Corp. So obviously this is a Valve game. You can see the screenshot here of the opening. I think we've kind of already seen this before, but there it is. You can see the aesthetic that they are going for and just kind of what this game is going to entail in terms of types of characters, the atmosphere. It is going to be very similar to like an Overwatch, I think. It says the game's directories contain Valve legal notices and numerous other text files that reference Valve. And it feels like a Valve game, though Valve didn't respond to my request for comment. I'm completely convinced that it is legit. So what is Deadlock? It is a 6-on-6 shooter like the original Overwatch. They say your hero's attempts to dominate a map by slowly wearing down the opposing team and pushing them back, but you're also leading an army of NPC grunts down 4 different lanes to destroy the opposing team's stationary defenses, a little like Dota 2 or other MOBA games. So that actually sounds pretty cool. I can definitely see if the mechanics are good and the characters are interesting, it doesn't get ruined by bad character design, which we have seen a lot of in today's day and age. You could just kind of look at Concord and how brutal those character designs were, which I think turned a lot of people off from even really wanting to play that game. If they don't fall into that, I think there will be a chance. You can kind of see here some of the characters if you were to click on this video and see how they play around. So I'm not going to put any sound here because I don't know if there's going to be any like DMCAs or anything. But yeah, anyways, you can see here the aesthetic the characters are going for and whether you would enjoy them or not. To say there's no downtime, it's constant war between teams, troopers, the grunts, and the enemy's teams, troopers, which I love. I dislike first-person shooters where there is a ton of downtime. I just don't have that much fun with it. I get bored. I don't know if it's my attention span is too crappy, but that's the way I feel. That's why I can't really play too many battle royale games. Just I'm not good at them, and I always find myself just running around endlessly with nothing happening. They keep respawning and advancing on the enemy position wave after wave, but they can't break through unless the human-powered heroes lend them a hand with powerful weapons, abilities, and upgrades. So that's pretty cool. So you have all these grunts. You're trying to get to the other end of your opponent, trying to break them down. But you have to do all the work for that to happen, of course. It says, nor can humans easily break through without their NPC army, or at least that's what I saw in my first match. So lots of strategy seems like it is going to be in this game. Take down the flame-headed energy spewing guardians or hulking walkers that block your passage. It takes at least a somewhat coordinated effort by one human and their little autonomous friends, and every match culminates in an all-hands-on-deck fight against the enemy's patron, a gigantic floating orb with arms and death rays. So you're going to have to get a crew together that communicates, listens, and creates a strategy. I feel like this is going to be one of those games that will not be that fun if you're just queuing alone and people aren't communicating, don't have a mic, and which you see a lot with first-person shooters, that it kind of ruins the experience if people are not playing the overall objective and they're just getting in their own way because they're trying to get kills and stuff in the game, which obviously for a game like this, kills probably don't even matter that much. There's going to be so many different roles in order to succeed. He says, when I say I coordinated, I'm not talking about aiming. This isn't a Valorant or Apex Legends like game where snappy aim is key. It feels like Overwatch, or maybe even more so like Team Fortress 2 and its floaty wear down their health gameplay. You can tank, heal, and retreat even if a tremendous amount of enemy fire is coming your way. And each match gets deadlier and deadlier as you unlock your hero's abilities and buy skill. So you have that MOBA feature in there where you're just upgrading and you have to be successful in order to be able to upgrade. Says others provide lifesteal, shielding, and more. So, I mean, it has all of the components of one of those games. You can dodge bullets and traverse the map in different ways. Slide, dash, air, dash, jump, double jump, mantle up to ledges. So there's going to be verticality in this game. Of course, you could see the guy kind of like grinding here on the poles and or the rails, whatever these things are, going through the map, which I'm sure helps you get behind the line of defense, is what I would assume that would be the zip lines. They say that they don't feel overpowered, which is nice. And then they also say here that they have a fascinating give and take mechanic as the games progress. To power up, I need to take my hero back to a shop to buy new perks with the souls I'd accumulated by destroying enemy troopers and heroes, but that left my territory undefended. Of course, yeah, when you're doing that, it is going to leave it undefended. Now, they say even in this early development build, there are already 20 different heroes, plenty of which look like ones I'd enjoy. So you can see kind of the heroes here. And I think this is going to have a huge effect. So far, I mean, these look pretty cool. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, they're, I guess you could say here that they have a nice variety. And that's what they're going to have in a game like this. Like, that guy looks pretty cool. Mo and Krill, that guy looks awesome. Looks like one that'd be fun to play. Vicious looks cool. Seven, oh wow, that guy looks... Like, these are pretty cool character designs. This is already miles ahead of Concord, in my opinion. So that alone, that's going to get people pretty excited to jump in and play the game. Now, they go on here and they talk about the more of the characters and some of their abilities, but there is a major update here and there is a controversy. This is an update that they even put on this article saying, turns out Valve was not fine with me trying Deadlock with friends. I've been banned from matchmaking. Oh, well, please feel free to make fun of me in the comments. And there's the error. Now, you have Forbes here, who is talking about this, and I don't know if it's because they're maybe jealous that they didn't post this information or that they didn't get the clicks for this information, but they say The Verge is under fire for publishing info about Deadlock's Valve secret shooter. And the reason they're saying that this is a problem is because they say many fans are furious that they published this, accusing them of breaking an NDA and going against the stated info that says early development build. Deadlock is still early in development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game with anyone. But there is a loophole here that they say. Tom Warren notes, they did not sign or agree to an NDA. They did not make any sort of verbal agreement with Valve about sharing the information. You do not even have to click through the EULA or EULA, as if you back out of it, it just goes away and you can play. It says, so The Verge, Son Halster got an invite, played the game, and published information about what they played. They say this has created a firestorm online amongst Valve defenders and other early testers. Warren's tweet of the story has been community noted and says The Verge broke an informal NDA asking them to not share the information about the game. And I mean, that's the story here. It's because of that pop-up screen. People are saying, hey, they should not have posted this, and you can see here all of the comments and everything going on, the back and forth between the defenders. Tom Warren, who obviously is the senior editor at The Verge and covers all of the gaming stuff, says here, we didn't agree to any NDAs. Then you have the Apex Hound replying saying, you agreed to the NDA by playing the early build with the pop-up saying, don't share anything about the game. Come on, man. Common decency, really? Then this person replies, that's not an NDA. They say it's not technically an NDA, but it's pretty obviously intended that way. They're giving people the benefit of the doubt not to leak it. Like I said, common decency not to show if you're a journalist or a content creator. And I think that sentiment does make sense. I mean, you do read that and you're trying to skirt around the fact that you didn't actually sign an NDA, or that you can back out of clicking the confirm or agree button or whatever it is when you do log into the game and still be able to play it. And I think the other thing is that people just don't like gaming journalists. They don't trust them. They think that a lot of them are just lying and doing things that make stories out of nothing. So I think that's another huge reason why people are mad. You also have Matt Piscatella here on X saying an NDA is an NDA. A gentleman's agreement or whatever is not an NDA. Wild to see consumers rush to defend a corporation that knows quite well the difference between the two. And I actually do agree with him somewhat here that if Valve truly wanted to make sure nothing got out there and that they were scared and they didn't want information at any form getting out there, they would have sent NDAs that you had to sign so that if something did get out there, they could take legal action over this. But at this point, because of the fact that they didn't agree to anything, they didn't actually have to click on the EULA thing, they can, if they want, publish that information. I guess the question is the moral here, the morals of it, of the story. Should they have just not posted anything about this game and wanted to continue to follow that pop up here that basically said, well, it does say don't show anything about this game whatsoever? That is the question. I mean, you can see posts like this. Yeah, just spin the faces of not only the devs, but also the people playtesting this game and keeping their mouths shut for months. Actually crazily disrespectful to everyone involved. Yet another L for yourself and The Verge. I think it's a lot of people just don't like The Verge and don't like gaming journalists because, I mean, we see this happen all the time across multiple different games. You do not see this type of outrage over people leaking stuff early. Now, I'm not for it. Me personally, if it was me who got an early development build of this and I didn't sign anything, I would have not shown the footage. But now it's all over the internet. Anybody can go click on the videos, anyone can go watch it. There's really nothing that can be done here for that gaming information to be out there. So that is the story. That is the major controversy right now in gaming. And I would love to know what you guys think about this. Like, do you think this is a big deal? Are you mad at The Verge? Are you mad at Tom Warren? Are you annoyed that they posted this early? Are you happy that they did so that you could see this gameplay footage if you are interested in checking out more about Deadlock? But I'll end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.